Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Guess what? It is time for some more fun games. We've got in the top left Scarlet, in the bottom right, it's Estrella. Now, keep in mind, this is a mod. It's Pig's Lab, and we've given the units 50% extra life. I'm gonna let the players know. Remember, buildings don't get buffs, okay, guys? Just letting the players know that so they're not confused. Buildings don't get buffs, only units. But everything has 150% life, which makes everything way tankier. Now, you could argue this really helps Zerg because they just get on top and overwhelm. But I'm really curious to see how it plays out. I still feel like, in a way, it gives you more of a chance to micro-back, keep your big units alive as the Protoss. And I just can't wait to see what goes on. I feel like 150% life is such a spectacular departure from the normal rate of StarCraft 2, and it's not going to be immediately flashy, but it will really slow down the pace of fights, and I just want to see what it looks like, because there's going to be a lot of interactions that change, you know, things like, oh, I got +1 on Zealots, they two-shot Zerglings. Nope, not the case anymore. Your upgrade interactions change, what one-shots is going to change, and also, you're going to see them both reverse racing here as well, which I only just noticed. This is Estrella, and that's... Can I just intro this over again? What am I doing, guys? Sorry, guys. I'm so out of it. So out of it today, eh? Alright. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Estrella, for some reason, is playing Zerg. Scarlet is playing Protoss. Estrella's Zerg got good, but Scarlet's Protoss has always been god tier. The hubris for him to think he can possibly beat Scarlet in ZVP is ridiculous. Now, I guess the players have decided they think this favors Zerg. It's 150% hit point mod. I don't know if it favors Zerg that much. I really think a lot of the time when we play Pig's Lab and we modify the game, we always think, oh, it's so-and-so is going to be so much stronger. And there's always something we've missed. StarCraft's a very complicated game. And as good as extra hit points is for the Zerg, these Protoss units are tanky, man. Those Stalkers are not going to die. Like... It's going to be interesting. The buildings do not get any of the stats boot buffs. Only the units do. Something weird about seeing a 300 hit point overlord, isn't there? It's really weird when you modify these settings in like PvP. Things when like disruptors suddenly aren't one-shotting Stalkers and Zealots. You're like, wait, what's happening right now? You're like, things are not as lethal in general. Storm is not going to be as effective. Fungal is not going to be as effective. Banelings are going to be trash automatically. I mean, that is something that hopefully Estrella's thought of. A 262 hit point queen here. 75 hit point creep tumors. This is going to be fascinating. Now, it's an early +1 with a robo. What is she doing, guys? An early +1 attack. So she wants to try and up her damage. I think if your units are so tanky, sure, damage still makes sense. I don't think there's a reason to go armor necessarily. It's still just going to be about getting a big force up. Now, once you get a big ball, disruptors are still going to do crazy damage. Even if they're not necessarily one-shotting everything, it's still going to be very, very good. Once you get a big death ball together, it's still going to be, you know, super effective, and it's going to be even harder for the Zerg to kill. I just can't wait to see. I have so little experience testing just buffing the hit points in StarCraft 2 and nothing else. So this is going to be a big experiment to see what goes on. Evo Chamber's on the way right now for Estrella. He's a little supply blocked here, and he's actually gone super late link speed. Oh, he's played so greedy. I didn't even realize how greedy he played this game. He's up like 9 workers already. Scarlet's build order looks a little conservative with a quick cannon on her third. Remember, buildings do not get bonus hit points or anything like that, so they're not as effective static defense with this buff. Scarlet's building multiple observers. Why is she building multiple observers, guys? In a PvZ. She's building 3 observers against a Zerg player. What? I've never seen this before. I don't even know why you'd build more than 1 observer versus a Zerg. Scarlet usually has a really nasty plan up her sleeve though. Shield battery also not going to be as useful for healing because the units are so powerful. Evolution complete, guys. Estrella always using that diva voice pack. This man's an absolute savage. Self-respecting connoisseurs of StarCraft prefer Alarak. They prefer the default. They might go Raynor or Kerrigan. He automatically does that. +2 attackers on the way right now for Scarlet, as well as Blink and a second Forge. She's decided in a very tanky game, I want to have double Forge upgrades. That's kind of greedy. He's going a Baneling Nest. Oh no, I told you guys, Estrella's a very good Protoss. He's got really good with Terran. Watching him play Zerg is like not... It's not perfect. Banelings makes no sense in this scenario at all, guys. No sense at all. Remember what I said at the start? Banelings are going to be trash. A unit whose damage hasn't changed and sacrifices itself to kill itself. It's not going to do much against a 240 hit point Stalker or something like that. If only the Banelings were half the cost or something like that, maybe this would make sense. But as it is, yeah. Imagine rolling Banelings in the mineral line as well. I guess 2 Banelings will kill probes no matter what. So they're still good for run-bys. Gonna try and go for an infestation pit. Man, can you imagine 1,000 hit point Ultralisks, guys? Ooh! Oh, I want to see 1,000 hit point Ultras. Looks like he's gonna play Lingbane into Lurker, though. Oh, this is a very awkward North American style. Luckily, Australia's played crazy greedy. He's on 86 drones. Scarlet's taken a 4th. She's played a pretty greedy build, but I actually don't know if it's like greedy enough. Man, I forgot Robos are so weak. 450 hit points, 450 shields. Why is the Robo so vulnerable as a structure, guys? It's kind of weird. Forges as well, 400, 400. Let's go click on some Zerg structures. What do we got? 850? Okay, that's kind of weak. I guess a lot of the Zerg ones aren't that strong. The spawning pool's super tough. I think Roachhorn's only about 850 as well. 750 for Evo Chambers. Fair enough. He's going to go for a mass Baneling roll. Oh, no. Australia's starting to dump money, guys. We're about to watch a Protoss player literally just pick up his money and throw it in the garbage. If Scarlet's watching, and she's got 3 observers, she really doesn't have a reason to not, or an excuse to not be watching, and yeah, I don't think she is. These Banelings are going to roll into a semi-wall. There is openings on both sides. That's a lot of money to throw down the drain, man. These Banelings, 50 hit points, so they do take 3 cannon shots to shoot down, rather than the normal 2. +1 range, +2 melee is on the way. The Hive, 5th base as well. Banelings roll into the cannons. He does take out the pylon on the right side. Oh, does get a pretty juicy hit on the probes. 11 workers going down. Cost for cost, though. That's a 2-for-1. Even better than 2-for-1 trade for Scarlet. So that's what I'm talking about with that being a little bit dicey. Hydras are on the way. If you can get those lurkers out, they'll do pretty darn well. These will be 400 hit point lurkers once they're done morphing, remember. So already these cocoons looking reasonably solid. Storm on the way. Colossus charge. +1 air weapons. Ooh-wee. Okay, Lingbane running on forwards here. Australia, luckily, is not making any more Banelings right now. I still think they're not bad for run-bys on probes, but that's the only reason you should be building Banelings, right? No other reason. Observer finally gets found. Australia's like, oh, you dirty pervert. You were spying on me this whole time. Spots an Observer there. Will come forward and start clearing up her Observer vision. She's got 3 Immortals, 2 Colossus, 4 High Templar. Psystorm will do decently versus Lings and Banes, but... Sorry, guys. Plus 150% life. It's 300 hit point lurkers, not 400. Pig understands numbers. Colossus, 525 total hit points and shields. Immortals, 450. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. These are some tanky units, man. Ooh, and the Colossus still are going to roast those Zerglings. Lurkers having to pull back right now. 2 Lurkers getting taken out. Great catch by Scarlet there. Used to calling the players by the opposite names, but I love seeing them flip their races and reverse them right now. Lurkers are getting a great angle. I mean, they don't die that quickly. The High Templar have 120 life now instead of just 80. Link splitting to the right, Link splitting to the left. Banelings trying to get in there. They will take out the gateways. That is I mean, they're okay versus buildings, I guess. Like, they're just as efficient as they've always been versus buildings, and they're not too bad versus probes. Zealots are going to come in. Hydra's going to try and deal with that with whatever else is popping out of these bases, but definitely going to cause some problems for Australia. He's on 90 workers. He's got good bank, but Scarlet's building an elite army. And I guarantee you, she's going to have experience with late-game army control. Australia's late-game army control is going to be a Protoss's demented impression of a Zerg player. Now, for those who don't know, any pro player who doesn't off-race with a certain race enough, their idea of what that race does and is good at is basically everything that frustrates them about playing against that race. Oh, man, he's taking big storms, big Colossus hits there. The Lurkers are tanky, but they're going to be careful about headbutting into cannon, battery overcharge, storm. His idea of Zerg is me A-move Banelings. Lol, me Zerg player. Me click Baneling in mineral line. Me shove 20 Lurkers, burrow on base. Look how hard my race is. There's a problem that comes with when you start to get, you know, play a race with your idea of what's really good about them rather than the experience of knowing what is incredibly powerful or weak with that race. Only +1 range attacks. He desperately needs more attacks. She's on 3-2. Adding plasma shields, adding +3 armor, adding +2 air weapons. He finally starts +2 range, +1 carapace. But he's letting her take a 5th base in the north. He's failed to get inside. He's still building a lot of Zerglings here. And definitely they're not going to be very effective against a 4 Colossus army. They're just there for like backstab potential, but Scarlet's been all over it. She's walled off everywhere here on Golden Aura. She's looking fan-bloody-tastic. Creep spread is good for him. There's still an observer up in the middle there and over there, though. She's got an overseer, so I don't know how both of those observers have gone unnoticed. Oh, I said she, but it's Estrella, isn't it? I've been casting them with her as the Zerg and him as the Protoss for the last hour and a half. God damn it. Why they try and confuse me like this? They should have played Terran vs. Zerg or something. Anyway, Zealot's going to the top right. Zergling's trying to breach the wall. Estrella's going to lose a few drones up there. He's got double spire in the way. Burrow as well. 4 Tempests are building as well. Oh, she's got that Colossus Disruptor Ball moving up here. These units are so tanky. It's kind of weird. Both sides, like it just takes so much longer for anything to die. Disruptor shots, 2 Disruptor shots. I don't think they'll kill anymore, right? Because it does 145 damage. So it's 2 Disruptor shots is going to leave a Lurker on 10 hit points now. Not the end of the world if you've got other units in there dealing damage, but on its own, definitely severely diminished. And Estrella's, he's got a bit of bank advantage, but he's got to do something with it. Oh, he's caught out in the open. Queens do start to drop some transfuses. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Those Lurkers took 2 Disruptor shots and they survived. The Queen's going a little bit far in front. We got Lurker spine there. Ling Bane's going to roll into this side. I don't think that's going to go very well for him. Solid wall off. Oh, she's doing so well on the defense. Scarlet showing she's experienced with Protoss. She's now got out Tempest and Colossus. And remember, guys, where are those spellcasters? 3 Vipers are finally here, but he hasn't really used them yet. And not having the spellcasters or enough of a decisive shove with, say, a Nidus Lurker or something to really catch her out has been a big issue for him. He should be able to break through these cannons quite easily. There we go. Finally, he's going to start just blasting through a wall, opening up a position. If he can get some abducts on some of these units, that would be good. But notice there's no Hydras here. Okay, 17 Hydras coming across the map right now. Good pullback by Estrella. Does get out of there with the Vipers. Man, these Lurkers are nowhere near as quick anymore with the Adaptive Talons. Remember, guys, that upgrade... Actually, no, sorry. This is current patch, isn't it? I felt like they unburrowed and burrowed kind of slowly. Maybe I'm just cheering for Estrella to find his way back in this game a bit too hard. I'm getting a bit excited. Lurkers keep getting caught unburrowed. Where are those abducts? Disruptor's getting yoinked right now, as does a Colossus, but she focuses down one of the Vipers. Looks like an Observer got picked off. Lurker's doing great damage. Careful, Scarlet! Oh, no! She does walk in and eat some of those Lurker spines. A little bit nasty. Estrella's got to be careful, though. She's rotated. She's got the cannon battery. This will not be a good spot for Estrella to fight. He's still got a little bit of Viper juice ready, but look at that. They're trying to focus down the Vipers. Does abduct 1 Tempest in there, but loses a Viper for his trouble. Corruptors have now been built. They're good versus Colossus. They're good versus Mama. They're good versus the Tempest, but it's go home time, Estrella. He's got to get more of these Lurkers out to deal with the ground army. +3 melee, +3 ranges on the way, as well as this 1/1 air attack and armor. +3 air attack and +2 plasma shields on the way. Scarlet's on 5 base. She's got the better upgrades, and she's got a massive, massive bank. Even with +3 attack upgrade, can't 2 Novas shoot a Lurker? Spells do not get affected by upgrades, so no change there. And the armor also doesn't affect the spell damage either. Oh, Zealot does do a bunch of damage there. I guess abilities is another way you could call that, if you don't like spells being in StarCraft. Lurker's doing some sick damage right there. Corruptor Viper doing what it can. And here we go. Corruptor Viper trying to move around the map. We've got the base in the top right as well. 3 Immortals, 3 Colossus, 3 Tempest, 3 High Templar. Lurker and Hydra doing exactly what they can to find the right position, but that gas bank is fearsome. That is a deadly, deadly gas bank right there. Flux Veins coming in as well. Scarlet just turtling up, and even though Estrella had some momentum, I don't really see... Yeah, I guess she just played so turtly to not give him a potential to swarm her. And I do think like mass Roach, Ravager, Ling swarms in the mid game would have been the way to take advantage of this. If there was a big advantage for Zerg, it was at that point. These fights, I'm almost forgetting it's 150% hit points. It just feels like it's giving more time for the slower, more methodical player to kind of carefully take the proper fights, and Scarlet is more experienced in late game. So the 150% hit points, it's slowing down the fight's pace a little bit, but overall, it still feels like it's kind of like the same skills are deciding who wins and loses. I could be interpreting this wrong. You guys let me know. Do you think it's having more of an impact? I don't know. I'm feeling like her upgrades just got G'd up a bit too much. That's really helping out. Estrella. Corruptors are going to try to come up with some Vipers, but that's not enough Corruptors for this micro to be worth it. He's got 21 Corruptors on the map. They're not all here. They're still rallying. The Banelings eat Psy Storm. That was a disaster of an engagement. He's making Broodlords here, but oh me, oh my, they're morphing in Tempest range. Corruptors trying to fall back now. And against the player who's already got Tempests out, I mean, Broodlords, you kind of need them all Lurkers. You got to commit one way or the other. 10 more Corruptors on the way. Estrella's got to get out of here. He's letting her chip at him. Units lost tab, 12,000 resources more efficient. Oh me, oh my. Scarlet is all over it. I mean, she's a top tier Protoss player, always has been. And Estrella is, I mean, he'd be Grandmaster with Zerg, but I don't know if I could say much more than Grandmaster for his experience level. And I think she's just so experienced with this late game army. The Corruptors actually got a sick fight. All right, let's put respect where it deserves to be. The Corruptors counted a lot of her army. She does have to be careful, but problem is now she's got Stalkers, and Estrella's like trying to do a desperate PP. Like a small child that's been holding it in for way too long. They finally got to the petrol station, and you know, they're trying to get in, but the door's locked. They need to ask the guy for a key. He's like, oh, he's doing the little kid pee-pee dance, so they're kind of just dancing from side to side. The Corruptors have a full bladder, but they can't find a target right now. Oh, okay. Well, they do grab 2 Colossus. Void Ray will go down. Ooh, mama! Just killed the Protoss. She did go down there. The Corruptors are all starting to fall, though. Trying to make Infesta Lurker behind it is a good way to deal, at least with the ground army. I feel like Estrella's staying at max decently. Let's look at the units lost tab. He was very, very far behind before. Ratio-wise, it was like 2 to 1. And you can see it's not as drastic as 2 to 1 after catching a bunch of those units, which is good. Corruptors do go after the Colossus. They take it out. A few more Corruptors do fall. Most importantly, the base going down. Zealot run by down the bottom will get cleaned up by the Zerglings and the Lurkers. The Corruptor's going to fly around the top. 300 hit points Corruptors, but the Stalkers are always there. Scarlet's so good. And immediately, oh my god, she runs up and hits him right as he starts the stream. Can you guys imagine that? You just finally start to unzip your fly and someone just smacks you right between the legs with a baton, and you suddenly stop before the stream even really gets started. Estrella's getting cornered right now. He's got very little anti-air. I mean, he's still got 14 Corruptors, but the Void Rays will counter them when they get it to like 9 or 10. And this is not on the balance patch, of course, because we are playing Pigs Lab, and that is a mod, and the balance patch is also on a mod, so we can't play both at once. We were on the balance patch just before with our previous games, but oh, the Fungals are pretty slick. Fungal Lurker! Fungal Lurker! Yeah, you can tell Estrella's like, why is Zerg so stupid? Why don't they use Fungal Lurker more? It's so good, man. He's making Broodlords as well, which is killer versus ground. But Scarlet's a mad woman. She's just making Void Rays and hiding it. She's going to go 3 +3 attack, +3 shields Void Rays. I'd love to see her start +2 air armor. She does. She's going to come out and surprise him with mass Void Ray. If he has Vipers, he'd be able to handle it. But he's only got Infestors, and Fungal alone is really going to struggle to deal with that. +3 shields now done. Scarlet, this base is really important for her. I mean, he's actually done a pretty good job trading over the last few minutes, I gotta say. He was so screwed before, and he's finding ways to remax, which is really cool. The Zealots, man, they survive. That's a lot of Lurkers shooting them. That's insane how tanky they are. Oh, nice Lurker snipe. Scarlet's so active. Her activity level is off the charts. There's no Zerglings out anymore, and he doesn't really want to have Zerglings and Hydras and basic units. So she's really punishing him for that. And oh, the Infestors don't have energy yet, so she just kills a Lurker, kills a Hydra, walks away. Gonna take out the Spine Crawlers now, which of course do not get the bonus hit points. She takes out a Lurker. Fungal whiffs right there. The Lurker Fungal trying to chase another Fungal whiffs. She's got Observers overhead. The Overseers do not have speed this whole time. And oh my god! 18 Void Rays. Okay, just Hydras and Vipers. No Corruptors, get out of there! No! No! Ah! Oh man, that's the guy who tries to play a hero by standing up in the machine gun fire. No, no, keep your head down, man. Oh, the fungals. Okay, finally a few good fungals land, but he needs to get these hydras out first. And look at the Void Ray spready. Oh my god, the Void Ray spready with the stalkers coming in. He lands a few good fungals, but you need Parasitic Bomb as the real damage dealer. Remember, spells are not as effective with 150% hit points, and he didn't have the Vipers, which you need to do the real damage there. Trying to do 30 hit point damage of fungal versus a 375 hit point Void Ray, it ain't gonna get it done. I love the idea of like Void Ray's one big weakness is always spellcasters in late game. Spellcasters are always weaker when you buff hit points. That's such a smart idea. It was also good because she hid them, and he was really heavy on Corruptors. Really smart play from Scarlet. GG, well played. Wow, that was really cool. All right, guys, I think we're going to finish it there. Do you think Roach Ling spam would have been more OP? The Voids did feel great since spells bounce off tankier units. He said, you know, Lingbane Hydra or Roach timings would be good because Storm is comparably worse. Scarlet says, I had no idea what I was doing early on. Oracle and Adept Harass should be quite bad because it's hard to kill drones. You're so much tankier, I think it's okay because you can ignore the queens more. The triple obs opening was certainly something though. She says, I guess 3 oracles would be good. Yeah. So if you get 3 oracles, you can one-shot the drones. And you're tankier, so it's harder for spores and queens to kill you. So we're just kind of like discussing like, how would it work? Like what would be the best thing to do? That's actually awesome. That's really cool. I'd like to see 4 times mana regen. Yeah, there's actually some cool settings like that you can do, guys, and they're really fun. Yeah, 3 adepts is the magic number instead of 2 as well. Cool, gang. Thanks for playing and being good sports. Put on some very fun games. Catch you later, fam. GG, thanks for inviting. No problem, says Scarlet. See ya. Adios, enjoy the rest of your stream. Appreciate it, guys.